Africans decided to say, let us now be free. And we went through that kind of situation and succeeded to have Africa, as they would say, being freed. But those who had colonized us, it was just a bit that they say, we can do this. They continued, in a sense, indirectly, to take everything in Africa they found, to claim that this belongs to them. And they still do it today. Even that freedom that we are talking about got watered down by the manner in which the relations between Africa and the colonizers were. Because colonizers still believe it was their own. And therefore, even having said, we are now free, but the misery, the problems that we still face are the same. And therefore, we as Africans have to discuss that matter and correct the wrongs. I think this country is a glaring example, this country, wherein those who oppressed them wanted to continue to do so. What was good with the leaders here, they said, not now. And it was therefore important to discuss with.
In a world where Africa is still shackled by invisible chains, a storm is rising, not of chaos, but of consciousness. And from the mouths of men who have seen the battlefield of history, a cry emerges. Enough is enough. Former South African President Jacob Zuma, a man forged in the fires of apartheid resistance, has reignited the call for Pan-African liberation. But this time, his voice echoes across borders toward the new face of African resistance, Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. This is more than a meeting between two leaders. It is the awakening of a continent. Jacob Zuma has never been silent about the unfinished work of liberation. From the struggle days with Nelson Mandela to his presidency, he has carried the wounds of a nation still in transition. Now, after observing the bold steps taken by Traore, Zuma speaks once more. The land is still in white hands. Africa is still not free, and we must not pretend otherwise. He recognizes that political freedom without economic power is an illusion. And in Traore, he sees a kindred spirit, someone willing to sacrifice comfort for the people's sovereignty. Let's speak truth. 70% of South African farmland is still owned by the white minority, despite the end of apartheid 30 years ago. This is not just an injustice, it is a continuation of colonialism in another form. Millions of Black South Africans still live in poverty while the wealth of the land flows out of their hands. Zuma's frustration is shared by many, especially the youth who see a system that never truly changed. When he says, help us liberate South Africa, he's not calling for violence. He's calling for justice, ownership, restoration. Across the continent, colonial economic structures remain intact. Banks, trade policies, mining rights, all carefully designed to benefit the West. Even after independence, African nations remain economically dependent, forced into IMF loans in foreign contracts that rob them of autonomy. Zuma and Traore know this, and they understand. The colonizers may have left, but the system they built remains. Until we change that system, Africa cannot be free. Long before Zuma or Traore, there was Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, visionaries who dreamed of a united Africa, a continent that would rise as one, with one currency, one voice, and one mission: self-determination. But their dream was interrupted, often by assassination, coups, and betrayal from within. Zuma's meeting with Traore is a powerful reminder that the flame of Pan-Africanism still burns. And now it's time to pass that flame to the new generation. Today, Burkina Faso stands as a rebel state in the best sense of the word. It has cut the cord of dependency and chosen the path of self-reliance and sovereignty. Despite sanctions and threats, Traore has pushed forward, refusing to be bullied. And this courage has inspired not only Zuma, but Africans across the continent. Burkina Faso is not just fighting terrorism, it is fighting mental slavery. And it is winning. It's easy to dismiss Jacob Zuma as a former leader, but his words now carry generational weight, because he is a bridge between the old fight and the new flame, between Mandela's dream and Traore's determination. When he says, let's take our destiny into our own hands, he is calling all Africans to reject dependency, reject neocolonialism, and reclaim their power. To the youth watching this message is for you. You are the generation with no fear. You were born after apartheid, after colonization, and that means your chains are not physical, but mental. It's time to reprogram the way we see ourselves, not as victims, but as visionaries. You are the ones who will build the new Africa, with tech, with culture, with leadership, and the time to start is now. To our brothers and sisters in the United States, the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond, Zuma's message is yours too, because Africa is your home, and its liberation is your fight. Your voice, your investment, your influence, they matter. This is the time to reconnect, not just emotionally, but economically. Support African businesses, fund African movements, build bridges, not borders. Zuma and Traore have shown us what leadership looks like. Now it's our turn to follow their example, not with guns, but with conviction. Let us demand education systems that teach real history. Let us build economies that serve our people. Let us protect our natural resources from exploitation. Let us unite as one Africa, from Cape Town to Cairo. We are one people, with one destiny, and that destiny is greatness. The time for empty slogans is over. Now is the time for action, unity, and courage. Zuma's meeting with Traore is not just a headline. It's a signal that the old dream is waking up, that Africa is done begging, done waiting, done obeying. And now with one voice we say, Africa must rise. Make Africa great. The future is ours.
And therefore, nothing I will fear when I'm there. I feel, in fact, at home. I can walk without any problem because I know the thinking is together and we know what we're doing. I'm actually very happy that we have young Africans who get into power and show the way. The problem that we have is that people believe that we can't do anything except people who came from afar. But I think this country is demonstrating that this is the route to go. And I'm sure we're going to succeed.
So you said it yesterday you met with the president. He committed himself to fighting against the oppression of imperialism. So what do you think of his vision, his Pan-Africanist vision?
I think he has a vision that we need as Africans. Very clear. Part of the reason I was keen to come was to meet him and have a discussion and also add to what he's doing. And also exchange the views about how do we quicken the final independence of our continent. And I had with the president yesterday a wonderful discussion. I could see that this is the man who is ready to help liberate Africa. But of course, the colonized people at times get misled by people who came to this continent, to this place of ours. For an example, some people believe that for their lives in Africa, they must depend on the colonizers. And colonizers at times use our people here to make it difficult for us. And that's why, for an example, you see, and I made this point yesterday to my friend. I also made it to our people who were here, that there is a big problem wherein we demonstrate that we are in fact not realizing what's happening in this province, in this continent. If you take the situation where this country says we want that belongs to us to come to us and let us run our own affairs, and you have leaders saying this is a coup d'etat, why are you doing this? And therefore we are going to isolate you. That tells you the problem we still have here. Because we as Africans were in our home, and some people came that had wars, taking our country, doing everything. It has been centuries. I don't think as Africans we have to sit and say we don't know one day either the angel or God or Jesus himself will come and help us. They will never. It is us who must say enough is enough. We want to run our affairs in every direction. That which has been done here should have been a light that says this is the way to go. But what did you find? You find not just ordinary people, leaders who are running their countries, saying this is a coup d'etat. Please let us isolate this young man. That tells you the problem we still have. And I am very keen to say, what can we do, all of us, who think alike, to change the minds of our people? It is absolutely crucial. One of the things that made me happy here is to find Africans from all over being here. Well, that gives the support to what the leadership is doing. And I think we need to increase that. We need to help our brothers who say, no, we can't touch the white people. To say it's not more that kind of time. It is us who must take over our countries and live in peace, so that we can remove problems in our continent, where we fight among ourselves when there is no need, fighting for places or where people are saying this is my class, this is my country, it can't help us. I do feel that we still have to work very hard to change the minds of those who were influenced by the colonizers, and those who think they can only have something to eat if the colonizers bring something here. It is the colonizers who don't have the everything we have in our continent. I think we should be left alone to live in our continent, in the manner in which we want to. This is what we need to do. Discussing with the president yesterday, I realized that Africa is now changing. But what people who stand for the truth, who are not taken away by people who think differently. I was very happy. We had a very good discussion. And I'm sure this link of us coming together is going to make us perhaps few to influence others and change the African continent. Because it is us. The colonizers have taken many things that they found here. They still take it. for themselves, not for us. So my discussion with the president was absolutely important. And I believe we are on the same page, and I believe we are going to influence Africa. And we are going to change Africa.
How?
No, we are going to deal with the Congress that are here. Tell them that it is wrong what they are doing. For an example, in Africa it is easy to kill people. And it's just the end of the story. Because they are looking down upon us. We need to influence country by country, leaders by leaders, ordinary African people, that this is the way to go. And we should not shy away from it. My feeling is that there are a few decades that are still going to give us problems. Because if we are able to discuss with our colleagues, to tell the truth as it is, to show the way, which way to go, is what will help us. And I'm sure they will turn around. If you take the problems that face Africa, anyone who is an African in the true sense of the word must participate in helping this continent. This continent is one of the richest continents. But you have people here who are starving in big numbers, whilst our things are being taken away to help the people out there so that they are in charge. They've got even a problem of buying people, other Africans, to kill other Africans. So we are still left with a big problem to deal with ourselves as Africans. And I believe if you have got president like the leader here, who are not afraid, we are going to tell African leaders openly that you are wrong. Start any war to say you are wrong, let the Africans come together. And I'm sure we are going to change this continent very quickly. Because it is not just two of us who are thinking, there are a number of them. I think we've just reached the point where we must say to the leaders and everybody else, this is the way to go, not the way we have chosen over the years. So, I was very happy. He was very happy too. And we have agreed we are going to be seeing one another continuously. Because we think alike. There are quite a lot who also think alike. It's absolutely wonderful.
Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger created the AES Confederation to better fight against terrorism and develop their countries. What do you think of this choice? Is it the best?
Absolutely. That is the thing I'm talking about, that we are going to be influencing people all the time. That is the way to go. If, as he does, do everything with the truth and also ready to do anything in order to succeed, we are going to have. We now have 3 countries here that are saying enough is enough with our colonizers. That is the beginning of a process where many other countries are going to do it. Because I think we all realize we are in trouble. And therefore, we need to change things. So I am very happy with that unity of the 3 countries. In fact, I'll tell you, if we win elections as we go, we are going to be the 4 countries that change Africa. That's how it's going to be.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.